This is a paper review for Unit 1. Now, this is not mandatory. However, it gives students the extra practice if they need it. And remember, you have to do your My Open Math review. However, for this one, I'm going to do the paper review and provide some videos for you so that way you can practice, and if you get stuck on one, you can check to see what the answer is. So for question number 1, it says use the number 693 for the next 2 questions. What digit is in the hundreds place? The hundreds place, the digit that's in the hundreds place is 6. What digit is in the tens place? The tens place, the digit is 9. Remember, the 3 is in the ones, the 9 is in the tens, and the 6 is in the hundreds place. Part B. Use the number 347 for the next 2 questions. What digit is in the hundreds place? Well, we know the 7 is in the ones, the 4 is in the tens, and the 3 is in the hundreds. So the answer is 3. And what digit is in tens place? The answer is 4. Round 693 to the nearest tens. Remember, what we do with this is we put an arrow over the place value, which 9 is in the tens place, and then we look at the digit behind it. If the digit behind it is less than 5, then we keep the 9 alone and we put a place value of 0. So the answer to this is going to be 690. And finally, for part D, it says round 347 to the nearest hundreds. So again, I'm going to write out 347. We're looking at the hundreds place, which the 3 is in the hundreds place here. So I'm going to look at the value behind it. Again, that value is less than 5, so I'm going to replace the rest of the place values with 0. So I keep the 3, and then I put in some zeros. So the answer is going to be 300. Okay, so that was number 1. Number 2, round whole numbers. Be sure to place a comma in between each grouping value. Round 352,537 to the nearest 10 thousandths. Well, the first thing we have to do is locate the number in the 10 thousandths place. So remember, the 7's in the ones, the 3 is in the tens, the 5 is in the hundreds, the 2 is in the thousands, the 5 is in the 10 thousandths, and the 7 is in the 100 thousandths. So we're looking at this 5 here. Again, we look at the digit behind it. This one is less than 5, so we're going to put place values in of 0 after the 75. So 75, 0, 0, 0, 0. So this becomes 750,000. Okay, round 64,728,547 to the nearest hundreds. So the 7 is in the 10, the 7 is in the ones, the 4 is in the tens, the 5 is in the hundreds, the 8 is in the thousands, the 2 is in the 10 thousandths, the 7 is 100 thousandths, the 4 is in the millions, and the 6 is in the 10 millions. So when we look at this, I'm going to write the digit 64,728, and then 547. So I'm going to put an arrow over the hundreds place, which is a 5. I look at the digit behind it. It again is a value less than 5. So what I'm going to do is write 64,728,000, and then I'm going to put zeros after that 5 to get 500. So the answer is 64,728,500. That's number 2. Okay, number 3 asks us to round to the nearest tenths. Remember that the tenths is behind the decimal place. So we have 38 point. The 1 is in the tenths. The second one is in the hundredths. And then so on and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and write this out. 38.11276. I'm going to make a line under the or an arrow over the tenths place. I'm going to look behind it. That digit is smaller than 5. So I'm going to leave everything alone. So the answer is going to be 38.1. That is the answer for that. Okay, the next one says round 38.11276 to the nearest thousandths. So we got tens, hundreds, thousands. So that 2 is in that place value. So 38.11276. I'm going to put the arrow above it. I'm looking behind it. This time around, we have a 7. 7 is greater than or equal to 5, so therefore I have to round the 2 up 1 digit. So the answer is going to be 38.113. Again, I had to round up 1 digit because the digit after the 2 was greater than 5. Okay, so let's do the next one. It says round 38.11276 to the nearest hundredths. Well, the second one is in the hundredths position. So let's go ahead and write this out. Okay, so I'm going to put an arrow over the hundredths position. I'm going to look at the digit behind it. It's a 2. 2 is smaller than 5, so I'm going to leave the digit alone. So the answer is going to be 38.11. Okay, and finally, round 38.11276 to the nearest whole number. So the whole number is actually the value in front of the decimal. So the whole number is going to be in the ones position, which is the 8. Again, I look behind it. That value is less than 5, so I'm going to leave it alone. So the answer to this, round to the nearest whole number, is going to be just 38. Okay? All right, so that's 1 through 3. I'm going to make another video for the next ones.